So let's talk about AI a little bit because you mentioned LinkedIn, and anyone who's been on lately knows that increasingly, if you want to start a post on LinkedIn, there's a little pop-up, I think, in the text field that says, "Hey, start your post using AI." And we know that increasingly job seekers in particular are using AI to formulate resumes and other collateral. What's its role, if at all, in an executive level search, Stacie? What's your take on this so far?
I'm glad you brought that up. Obviously, that's a very hot topic, AI in general, and how it's affecting the whole hiring process. I could tell you when I meet with members, I could spot an AI resume. All right. There are things that we could spot on it to know, which is not helpful to you. So what is AI's role? It's a tool. I believe eventually it's going to be a tool like Excel and MS Office, and it's going to be something we use in our everyday business life as a tool. How does it play a role in what you are doing? I don't see it playing actually a huge role, except being helpful. We use some AI in our processes, but it's not the be all end all. It always takes massaging by a human. It always takes editing. It is not going to generate something that will be useful. It might help you along the way to get there. But I would not focus on AI in your search. At your level, it's about you, your value, your interaction with the team, your networking, your connections. AI, think of it this way. AI works because it's pulling all the information that's out on the web for you, right? And consolidating it and pulling together what you're asking it to do. So if you know that only 3, 4, 5% of executives are at that senior strategic level, you're going to go to AI and you're going to get a transactional resume because all AI knows is how to do resumes for that 90, 95% of people. And they're going to spit out a resume like a resume service for you. But that's not going to be a resume that's going to work for you because you're not in that world anymore. So don't get by AI at your level. It's more of a tool maybe for more transactional folks, but you still need to know how to massage it. But I would not focus on that in your job search.
Yeah, if I could add to that, I mean, realistically, at some point it could be, as you're saying, useful to refine something you're saying or choosing to write about yourself specifically. But here's the thing, right? You've got to be consistent. And when you are walking about this planet through an interview door or at a conference or any other networking event, formal or otherwise, there's no AI that is going to tell your story, right?
AI is not doing branding and value
Filter,
proposition.
so you're kind of going to be on your own. And here's the magnificent part of that. You get to tell your life experiences and create that arc, right? You mentioned your childhood. Help people see in a concise, cogent way, obviously, what you're about. And if you're counting on a tool to tell that story for you, it's going to be this concentrated sort of version of yourself, not the true human version of yourself, right?
Well, the resume, and I see this all the time too. Somebody cuts off, they start their resume at the year 2005. But maybe in the 90s, they started their work. And what they did in the 90s and before that really formulated their brand. It really played a piece. And often when I'm talking to members, like, well, what did you do before that? And then I get all the meat. Then I get excited about hearing pieces of a great story. So, if you're a VP of customer success or customer experience, and I'm talking, this just happened this past week, and I find out that you started your career in a Subway franchise, or you were doing real customer service in the trenches, and you grew through. And what experiences you have along the way, that ends up being what's woven into your story. I uncover the best stuff of what's not on your resume when I talk to members. So we want to weave that in so you could talk to why that separates you out and why that's important for people to know. And your story is way more compelling than just listing what you've done.
Mhm.
You know, what's going to happen is if you just list all the things you've done, your competition has great accolades too. They have that same 3, 4, 5 resume with all their awards and all their presentations, and, you know, they're the best also. But if they can't articulate why people pay them a lot of money, what they make happen in companies, you just look like another great successful executive, but they wouldn't be compelled to choose you unless you understand that.